Hello, and welcome to another Rang Rouge unit of the Reek. And today we're taking a look at the 2-inch carrier available to a lot of British divisions. So the Universal Carrier was a British small armoured personnel carrier developed in the mid-30s, but also all the way to the 1960s when it finally stopped production. It was a rather universal piece of equipment, as the name suggests. With only 10mm of frontal armour and an open-top space, the British managed to stick a lot of bloody different types of weaponry and crew configurations in this one APC. Machine guns, anti-tank rifles, larger 50 caliber machine guns, flamethrowers, anti-tank guns, and of course mortars. One of the more common variants being the small 50mm 2-inch mortar, but the Australians also developed one with a 3-inch mortar. And by God, I really wish we had the 3-inch mortar in game, even though it's Australian doesn't make sense, but it'd definitely be a bit more useful. In game, the 2-inch carrier is available to the 15th Scottish, 3rd Canadian, Desert Rats, 1st Polish Armoured, and Guards Armoured Division exclusively in A phase. It is a 70-point artillery unit with 3 weapons. So we got the 50mm or 2-inch mortar. It has HE and smoke rounds with 15 rounds a minute, 4 HE damage with 40 rounds of ammunition, and 20 rounds of smoke ammunition, 700 meter range, and 21 meter ARE. It's pretty much your standard small 50-60mm mortar affair. Not a lot of individual damage per shell, but you shoot it rather fast. And then there's a Bren gun, because when you really need to defend yourself, the best course of action is a Bren gun, apparently, with only 180 shots. And if we pop down to its miscellaneous stats, it's got run armor all around and is an open top vehicle, bad stealth, a speed of 33km off-road and 70km on the road, and very low optics capability. So in battle, the 2-inch carrier seems rather underwhelming. Compared to the American and German counterparts of self-propelled mortar artillery, it has worse range, worse armor, and a machine gun that can barely stun up an ersatz trooping squad. But even though it does seem rather pants, it's actually a very good unit in the right hands, because this thing is an absolute stunning machine. Because it is a smaller mortar, it just shoots extremely fast, and for stunning up a single squad that you spot inside a town, this thing is extremely useful. And you really do need it early on, as a lot of these British divisions, as for the most part you don't really get that great in terms of infantry that can fight by themselves. They always require on fire support. You just throw in the rifles and motorized rifles to soak up the damage, and then you bring in the heavier guns, or lighter guns in this case, the 2-inch carrier, to actually do all the heavy lifting. And in that role, this is a really good town fighting artillery piece. But really only in towns. This isn't great in more open ground engagements or dealing with AT guns. It's just specifically to fight against enemy infantry, pioneers, panzer grenadiers, etc. It's good in certain decks. I'd highly recommend it for your 15 Scottish divisions for sure. But decks such as Guards Armoured and Polish, where you can get Sextons instead, that's a much better alternative, to be entirely honest, as the Sexton is the king of all artillery pieces in game in my mind. But overall, it's alright. It's a bit overpriced, I will admit. Yeah, it really should be 60 points in my book, but it's not terrible, and it does have its role, and that is just stunning the everlasting bejesus out of any crowd that dare comes into that town. And I'm going to leave it off at that. This has been another Rang Rouge unit of the week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as usual, please just take it easy.